Hi everyone, it's Justine. When I was in New York last month, I spoke in front of an audience of creative people from many different countries who make videos on YouTube as well, and some of them even run very successful creative and or online businesses at the same time. I was free to pick my topic, so I talked about something that has been on my mind for quite some time. You might remember or know already that I initially studied business and work in business, and now I switched to fashion. Studied fashion, now work in fashion. Back then, people said I couldn't be a good creative, whatever that means, because I was a business person. Today, people say that I'm only creative, so I supposedly can't be interested or knowledgeable in any other field. I frankly, wholeheartedly disagree with that kind of silo thinking. I think that all fields are in fact linked, related. So when I said that to an audience of people who build businesses out of their creative heads, they virtually all agreed with me because they've been there themselves. But I thought I would share that video, that talk, with you guys as well. And I look very much forward to your thoughts and to an open discussion, I guess. Here is the recorded talk. Hi. They say you can't be creative and business-oriented at the same time. My name is Justine. I'm a fashion designer and an entrepreneur. So people ask me, oh wow, so did you study fashion or business? Well, I started with business and then I went back to school and studied fashion. Okay, but what do you want to focus on long term? I like both. Okay, but you can't be good at both things. You have to prefer one thing. There are two types of people I've had this conversation with. People who knew me as a business person before, who put me in the business box and don't want to let me switch boxes ever again. And then the people who think that business and creativity exclude each other because creativity is that abstract myth, the artist that turns a white canvas into Mona Lisa. Sometimes those two types of people can even overlap. Who decided that one person can do only one thing? And when was that? Leonardo da Vinci, example, okay, so he's a good one, right? Was an engineer, an inventor, but also a painter and a writer, etc. At that time, educated people were good in everything, right? So I understand that today there is too much wisdom about each field for one person to be able to know everything about everything. But it's not about what you know, it's about the way you think. Point one, the less you know about a topic, the more creative your ideas will be. Friends of mine asked their little daughter, 3 years old, not even, was the chicken or the egg here first? She thought about it and replied, wait, the Easter bunny was first. And frankly, it's the smartest answer I've heard. It's absolute rational thinking based on what she knows about the world. Point two, creative ideas are the result of structured, rational thinking. The most creative people in the so-creative advertising industry use very uncreative tools to come up with new ideas. Zwicky was an astronomer, a scientist. He invented a method that those guys use all the time. And he was not a creative person officially. It's this one here, general morphological analysis. When you have one big issue, you break it down into small pieces, and then you play all possible combinations of those pieces until you get not just a good idea, but the best one, the perfect, practical, most efficient solution for a given objective, right? So in advertising, a good creative person is so business-oriented because their goal is to bring across a message and sell a product, right? So this method, which is using creative skills but is not creative at all, actually works in every single field, I think. I could use it to design a shoe, for instance. So what makes a shoe? Let's break it down. You have a part that covers the foot, more or less. Here it's a sandal. Then you have a heel, more or less high, right? The heel is positioned somewhere under the foot. And then you have one element that connects and holds the shoe close to the foot somehow, right? This shoe looks very original and creative, but it doesn't work. Why? Point 3, creativity works best under constraints. So here in this case, we're missing the constraint. The heel of the foot has to be at the level of the toes or higher, otherwise you can't walk. So let's solve the heel issue. Here you go. Now the shoe works, and it still looks creative and original. So my point is here, creativity alone is not enough. You need to add some logics to it. Point 4, being creative is actually a matter of training. Artists and designers who are very successful over a long period of time create nonstop. They have new ideas all day, all night. They see and observe the world around them. They feel, analyze, think about what it means, where it's going. They practice that way of seeing the world all the time. So you can do the same and practice that too. For example, for a day, try to think and see the world as a child. It's a fun one to do. I like that. Once a week. Or for one day, take a picture of every object or color that you see and like. At the end, print out those pictures and build a mood board out of them. Little exercises like that are part of daily research, of routine work when your job is to create new things. So in the end, pure creativity, the artist in front of a white canvas, doesn't really exist. Without practicality, without some logics, without at least a purpose, I think it's useless. So when people say you can't be creative and business-oriented or pragmatic or rational at the same time, I think you cannot not be both at the same time. Thank you.